and welcome to the Whoniverse and to a brand new video. Now for 25 years, Big Finish have been creating full-blown, full-cast official Doctor Who audio adventures featuring your favourite doctors, companions, enemies and more. As you can imagine, it's a lot of content and tough to know where to start or to know if audios are for you. Well, in this video I'm not only going to go over where to start, but also how to listen to some incredible stories without spending a single penny. So, let's break this down, and strangely I would say the best place to start is BBC Sounds. I'll leave a link in the description. Why? Because they're all free, and some absolutely awesome stories. If you're a fan of New Who and want to jump in, you can try Out of Time, which is an hour-long story with David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, teaming up with Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor, battling Daleks. Two of the most popular Doctors taking on their greatest enemies with plenty of comedy too. It's not just multi-Doctor stories Big Finish is good at. No, they can explore what TV can't. Have you ever wanted to know what the 9th Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, got up to before he met Rose Tyler? Well, in this trilogy of stories we get to hear just that. It's called Ravagers, and is just the start, with Eccleston voicing his incarnation of the Time Lord in plenty of stories outside the set too, totaling 36 audio episodes so far. What else? Well, what if we further blended classic and new? Well, if you wanted an introduction into Classic Who, you can start with a set called Classic Doctor's New Monsters. It's 4 standalone stories featuring Doctors from the classic era, going toe-to-toe with villains featured in the new series of Doctor Who. The best ones in my opinion include Fallen Angels, which had the 5th Doctor, played by Peter Davison, against the Weeping Angels in 16th century Rome, and Judoon in Chains, with the 6th Doctor, played by Colin Baker, defending one of the space rhinos trapped in Victorian times. The set also has Harvest of the Sycorax, with the 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, and a Time War era 8th Doctor, played by Paul McGann, battling Sontarans in the Sontaran Ideal. There's a few more audios on BBC Sounds, but these are my top ones to start with. What else could you listen to? Well, over on Spotify, Apple Music, and a variety of other streaming services, you can find a podcast called Into the TARDIS, where actor Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor, introduces free Big Finish audios you can listen to, with new ones every week. There's some real gems on there, but my favourite so far would have to be another standalone story called Death and the Queen, with the 10th Doctor and Donna Noble, played by Catherine Tate, battling death itself with skeleton armies and castles galore. Now it's at this point you've probably got plenty to listen to get you started, but I'm going to go through some other free places you can find audios and some more recommendations, all again without spending a penny. So let's dive into some more free offerings on Spotify and Apple Music with the first 50, yes 50, stories from the monthly range of Big Finish. So in this range there's a lot of stories to process, and especially if you're new to classic Doctor Who, it can feel overwhelming. I would start with Paul McGann's 8th Doctor, because not only is Paul a sensational Doctor, but the audios really made his Doctor, and arguably, his Doctor made Big Finish what it is today, carrying on Doctor Who when it wasn't on TV during the wilderness years. You could start with Storm Warning, and listen all the way through to Zagreus. This is Doctor Who at its most steampunk. It's chilling, and honestly some of the best Doctor Who stories live in this set. Plus you get to meet a new companion called Charlie Pollard. Now maybe you want to listen to some villainous lore. Well, you could check out a trilogy of audios focusing on specific characters aptly named Omega, Davros and Master, focusing on each of the villains. Or even explore the very genesis of the Cybermen on Mondas, and how the 5th Doctor played his part in a truly body horror story reminiscent of TV story World Enough and Time. It's at this stage you might be thinking, you've not mentioned the Big Finish website. Well, it's time now, and guess what? They've got free stuff too. You can make an account, and I'll leave a link to the free page where you can find some real gems, most notably the Paul Spragg Memorial Short Trips. Now this is a competition dedicated to the memory of Paul, and lets fans enter their own scripts and have the winner's work produced and released for free, read aloud like audiobooks by influential actors and figures from the Whoniverse. Then there's lots of part 1s and excerpts that give you a taster of different stories and box sets, so you can decide if they're for you before you buy them. Yes, so after all these adventures and starting points, it's really up to you where you go from here. You can find stories for the majority of companions and doctors with so many adventures to dive into. You could listen to River Song meeting different doctors across the timelines, explore the events of the Time War, meet terrifying villains like the Ravenous and the 11. There's a whole series for the 11th Doctor set between Series 7 Part 1 and Part 2, as he tries to find Clara. You can see the 6th Doctor team up with a shape-shifting penguin, and there are plenty of big classic villains like Daleks and Cybermen around too. I think it's incredible that the Doctors and their companions, their enemies, it never ends with Big Finish. You can visit any era of the show and be greeted by a phenomenal cast with actors reprising roles they played on television decades ago without missing a step, a beat. They're just perfect. There's excellent writing and a form of media that can go places TV really can't with its limitations of budget and scheduling. Big Finish also haven't stopped releasing new content, with new sets and stories year-round, and there's plenty of big announcements too, like a full cast 13th Doctor series coming soon too. There's so many stories, so much potential with limitless possibilities. Big Finish really is the gift that keeps on giving. My personal thoughts before buying a set is look out for sales, look at the stunningly designed cover art, listen to the trailers and watch the trailers, and read the description, and if you're still not sure it's going to be for you, ask some Doctor Who fans. You could even comment under this video and I'm sure you'll get a great answer to help you. So that's it for this very quick entry into the world of Big Finish, and hopefully it's really helped you. Audio adventures aren't for everyone, but you won't know until you try. They really get your imagination fired up, and to hear the real voices from the characters really creates such a brilliant sense of immersion. Have you listened to Big Finish before? Let me know your favourite stories in the comments below. All links and credits are in the description, and I really hope this video helps you find your way into a whole new world of Doctor Who without breaking the bank. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.